All right, now let's get a check on the commodities market. Now let's see what's playing out with oil. Let's see what's playing out with most of our basic exports there. Joining us now, Mr. Bismarck Rewane is the MD CEO of Financial Derivatives Company. Great to have you on the show, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So according to your data there, we're seeing PMS prices on a downtrend at this point. Help us break it down, sir. What are we seeing there?
I think it's interesting that at this time when there's all of this cacophony about Pegasus and all of that, that the Dangote refinery has gone along with its promise to bring down the price of PMS to 841 naira. That is significant. And at the time when global oil prices were actually increasing before that of today, it's and that they've been able to deliver it almost across the country, even though not the same price, 841 in some places and 850 in some other places. But it's interesting, and that will bring down the pressure on Nigerians generally. Not just the price, but the availability, which is important.
But what's happening with diesel, though? Diesel, that one stayed flat so far. We're not seeing any action there. We know most, businesses use a lot of diesel.
Yes, but you see, the PMS is more widely used than diesel across, both for transporting, for small generators, and all sorts of things. So, in all, PMS utilization in Nigeria is about 45 million liters a day, while that of diesel is sharply lower than that. But anyway, they're all well as well.
All right, so sir, let's break down, what's also playing out in the global oil market there. We're still seeing that range trade. Brent acts like it wants to break back above $70 per barrel, but we see it get hammered back down. It seems it's all about the output decisions from OPEC.
Yeah, actually there are three things. There's one, the output, and two is the OPEC decision, but also the fact that today Israel and the United States have announced a plan with a peace plan in the Gaza area. So if that happens, generally speaking, and the Arab countries have come behind it, and the ceasefire kicks into place, you will find that the global escalation of risks will actually reduce, and then we shall begin to see oil trend downward. So as Nigerians, we should come to actually accept the reality that the price of oil is going to go downwards and more towards $60 than going higher to $70 a barrel. It's important that we discuss this now because the budget process for 2026 is at hand. And last year, this time, we went out, had a production target of 2.2 million barrels. We had a price target of about $75 a barrel, only to find out in reality that we produced only about 1.4 average, and that the average price for Brent was as low as almost $68 a barrel. So this is a reality check, and that we should accept that, and then cut our coat according to our cloth, and therefore come to terms with this reality that, yes, we've done a lot of work, the economy is turning the corner, it's turning the corner, but then we should not get carried away, and we should know immediately that there's still some hard work to be done.
All right, so Mr. Rewane, definitely going back to what we've seen play out, with the Dangote refinery, with Nupeng, with Dapman, most of the oil marketers at this point, and the FG, federal government weighing in on the matter, and we're seeing fuel prices still trending, downward at this point. Would you say the market is that mature at this point, as not swayed by what's playing out with the elephants?
No, I think what's happening here, people have gone beyond the rhetoric and the sentiment of strikes and industrial action. Industrial actions are natural consequence of business, but we must understand that there's what we call the critical national infrastructure. On August 3rd, 1981, President Reagan came out, and when the air traffic controllers in the US actually shut down the airspace I remember, I think I was and they closed down the space. He got the Air Force controllers to take over the space and fired all the air traffic controllers. In fact, I know people who had to travel to Canada to fly out of the United States. He took that position because the airspace of the United States is considered as a critical infrastructure. For Nigeria, the refining space, especially this single train refinery, is critical infrastructure and cannot be left to the vagaries of industrial relations disputes and all. So the government, yes, intervened. Government called parties to resolve the issues. But under no circumstances can we allow critical national infrastructure to be threatened because of that. I think that is the most important lesson that we have to learn from this, because apart from the investment, apart from the fact that this is creating jobs and it is linkage effect with all other industries, and not only critical infrastructure for Nigeria, but the whole of West and Central Africa, we cannot allow this to be a subject of negotiation of unions. That has to be hived off, and people have to know what national interest is and what commercial interest is. National interest is that Nigeria cannot be allowed to be crushed or frustrated or sabotaged, I use the word, because of negotiations. Those should be taken off the table. The refineries should be allowed to produce, and they're doing that. They're bringing down prices and should be allowed to invest so that other investors who are coming to share in what they call the critical infrastructure space should be encouraged to do that without the fear that they could be actually strangled or strangulated by all sorts of interests.
All right, so I guess we'll keep tracking at this point, and also checking in on the prices and checking in on the consumers as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Bismarck Rewane, MD CEO, Financial Derivatives Company.
Thank you, Laddie, for having me.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we hear more on Nigeria's economy as we age more at this point with our latest independence. That's in a moment. Just stay with us.